What is electricity? Today we're going to talk about what electricity is and try to understand it a little bit. So let's get started. In order to understand electricity, we need a definition of it. So the simplest definition of electricity is electrons in motion. Now to understand this, we need to understand a little bit about what is an electron and what causes them to move. So we'll be talking about that as well. Alright, so let's dive in. So again, what is electricity? Well, the simplest definition that I can give is that electricity is electrons in motion. So let's talk a little bit about what electrons are. Well, everything in this world is made up of atoms. And an atom looks kind of like this. It's made up of even tinier particles. In the center of an atom is a group of particles called the nucleus. The nucleus contains some positively charged particles that are called protons, and also some uncharged particles that are called neutrons. And around the outside of the atom, there are negatively charged particles that are called electrons. So this is what an electron is. It's a tiny negatively charged particle that orbits around an atom. Atoms always have approximately the same number of electrons as they have protons. This way the negative charge from the electron balances out the positive charge from the proton, and you end up with approximately no charge on the atom. So if an atom likes to have about the same number of electrons as protons, why would these electrons ever move? So let's talk about that. Well, imagine that you have several atoms next to each other making up some larger material, like a metal, for instance. Each one of these atoms has approximately the same number of electrons as it has protons, so there is approximately no charge on the whole metal. But now imagine that you added an extra electron to one side of this group of atoms. Well, now this atom on the left has an extra electron, and it's not happy about that, so it tries to get rid of one of its electrons. So that electron moves over to the next atom, which then has too many electrons, so it gets rid of an electron, and that moves over to the next atom, and so on. So by adding an electron to one side of this group of atoms, you can cause this cascade of electrons to flow from one atom to the next, to the next, to the next. And when electrons move like this is what we call electricity. So this is the electrons in motion that we call electricity. So let's recap. We said that a simple definition of electricity is electrons in motion. We said that electrons are tiny charged particles that orbit around atoms, and we can cause these electrons to move by adding one electron and pushing other electrons around. So now you know a little bit about what electricity is and a little bit about how it works.